Hey, what's up? It's another episode of Watch You Strappin. These aren't watch reviews, they're just a quick wristwatch check with a strap pairing of with the watch just to show it. And as this will be, any new watch will be on its stock OEM factory bracelet strap, option of some sort, whatever it comes with, to be shown first, and then later I'll show it on aftermarket ones. And today I have here a watch. I believe the manufacturer, the brand that makes it, is called Infantry. This is, hopefully I will have uploaded the unboxing video about this by the time this comes up. If not, it may come up afterwards, but likely I'll wait till that goes up and then I'll post this. But yeah, it's based purely a fun and non-serious watch purchase. I've just been holding off on anything new. Well, I've been thinking out one more big purchase, but until then, yeah, I've kind of been laying low on any of the really new stuff. Yeah, it's just trying to stay focused. But I did have I don't know if it's a moment of weakness or inspiration, but I wanted to get a watch that was I was thinking about for some reason going back to the Seiko Flightmaster, not the more, I guess, rare titanium version that's automatic with the power reserve. That one's really cool, but it run around roughly $3,000, so I'm not looking to spend that money on such a watch, at least not right now. But I was thinking about the old Flighty, which would be the quartz version. I forget the reference number. I believe it's an SNE something. I can't remember, sorry, but it's pretty well known. It's the one that's basically black. It looks like like a Breitling Navitimer kind of style. It's got the slide rule scale for calculations and a lot of information all over the dial. It's primarily black with some yellow and I guess a bit of white accents on there. Yeah, I used to own one, and it seemed like a good watch to go back to, but I kind of don't want to necessarily do any more rebuys if possible. And some reason it led me to think about this watch. I know I saw this a while back. It's a kind of a limited edition, kind of limited run. This is the version 1, the first one that they made. It's based off of the Macross Japanese anime series. There was a movie off of it too, but these series of watches are primarily based around the original TV series, which I love. In the United States, it was under part of I guess basically like a 3-part mini series of animation, and this was the first part that started it off, which is under the Macross saga. And it's under the larger Robotech name. And loved that show growing up in the 80s. It really introduced a lot of I think it introduced to a lot of people, at least in the United States or the Western world, Japanese animation culture, I think. Although there's been some around probably before that. I remember watching stuff like Gatchaman, or what do they call that? There's another name for that, G-Force. I like that a lot too. I grew up on that. Star Blazers is another one that I really enjoyed. But Macross definitely up there with my all-time favorite Japanese anime series. Had many toys, and even several years later, I still have some. And I really like the stuff based off the movies, but this is off of the TV show. Although this particular colorway, you see my video, they have like basically 9 different colorways. 4 of them are based around this, you can see on the dial, the VF-1S, which is, I guess you could call it the Skull Squadron, or specifically the Skull Leader usually has the S model. Just primarily the head of the robots are a little bit different. Other than that, I don't think they necessarily performed all that different. But anyways, so 4 of them are based off of that. So this is one that's kind of gray, which I would like to call the low visibility version, and there's like an all black version. Imagine basically like this, very monochromatic and monotone, but more all black. Like the case is black. This is actually more of a gunmetal, which I think works because the base color is primarily gray, so that would work. Otherwise, if it was silver, it would work. But I think it was a good choice to do like a gray gunmetal kind of PVD coated case on this. There's like a black and white and yellow version, two of those, and other ones based off of the other, like what they call Valkyries from the show, which are these transformable jets. They can basically have three modes of transformation: jet, fighter, like robot, and something in between, which in Robotech they call it Guardian mode, but in the Japanese series they call it Gur or Jurwalk. I know it sounds kind of weird, but that's what they call it. It's kind of a half robot, half plane mode. Anyways, yeah, we would talk about that more some other time. But yeah, I really like this. Was actually the version that I was after out of anything, because this was basically a blind purchase. I couldn't really choose which one I was necessarily going to get. I just knew which ones I really wanted and which ones I didn't, and I was hoping for it would be within the group that I wanted. And actually, I thought this one, the gray version, was the one that I wanted the most. Not too subtle. I don't think I have anything that's all gray like this yet, or anymore at least. And I think it's really cool having it in this colorway. Pretty subdued, but the details are there. And I wasn't expecting much, but this actually cost me, essentially it was priced at under $40. Yes, under $40. I think originally these were sold for $70 or $80 ish, but yeah, 40 under $40, or roughly $40 after tax or shipping, if they even charge me that. But yeah, I think it's totally worth it to just buy something like this, relatively inexpensive, that hits two of my interests: watch hobby and Japanese anime, specifically in this case Macross. And they do have other versions that came out later, like a version 2. I don't know if necessarily version 3. It seems like there's at least two other variants later that aren't like this is a chronograph. They're more of a three-hander, and they're I don't know. I don't like them as much. This one has this has a cooler theme and the way it's designed, and it has like a matching native straps for all the different color variants. Those have, I don't know, there's a leather, some have a leather strap. Some might have a bracelet, I'm not sure, but I don't know. They don't look quite as appealing to me. I always like this first version, and they still have some around. I'm sure you can find them. But yeah, basically there's this, I guess, new old stock. And yeah, it arrived just yesterday, and I was thinking, I hope I got the one that I wanted, or something within that range of color variants. And when I checked, I was like, oh, actually, this is it. This is exactly the model that I wanted. This is, again, the stock strap that it comes on. It's gray with the black stripe that matches the stripe that goes through the dial. And you'll find that the other versions have something similar going on that tie into the theme of the dial and the overall watch color scheme. And yeah, I wanted something kind of on that Navi timer-ish sort of look, but not exactly, at least not exactly like the Seiko one, the Flight Master that I used to have, but it has something that looks like a slide rule scale around the bezel, somewhat detailed and busy dial, that kind of look. And by the way, this is not a true slide rule scale, or slide rule scale. Yeah, I guess that's what you call it for calculations. It just looks the part. It doesn't actually rotate. I wasn't even thinking about this. I just like the overall look, and this is really about a look instead of functionality. The chronograph does run, but it isn't running now. This is actually the centroseconds, the larger centroseconds hands that you see ticking away right now is the main running seconds hands, actually. It's just fine. It keeps the dial looking active. The actual chronograph, when it activates, the upper will do, I believe, 1/20th. if not 1/10. I'm not even sure what it runs faster on the top. I think it's 1/20 because I see that the divisions are there's 20 of them if I count it correctly. So I'm guessing it's 1/20th of a second. I have to look that up to be sure. The bottom is actually the seconds counter. So in actuality, this only is really good for timing up to 1 minute. Very short. Yeah, it can be used, sure, but it's not its primary. I mean, it's very limited, I suppose. If you wanted to time more than that, I suppose you would just basically use the main minute hand, and make a note of where it started, and then just keep counting down, and you can time it down to the nearest second, I guess. But I imagine this movement, which I have no idea what it is. It's possible it might be a Miota based, but I think or some sort of citizen based movement. If not, maybe it's just a cheap Chinese movement. But I suspect with the skull patches on by the 9 o'clock, there might have been a minute counter for the chronograph, but they removed it just in favor for the design. Yeah, but at least you can see that actually the second hand, considering, is hitting all the marks, and that is not bad actually, quite good. Has a date feature here. Some people might question whether that's a good design, but this kind of busy dial where things are kind of thrown here and there, I don't think actually it throws it off too much. There is oddly some bit of balance to all this. I don't know if you want to call it chaos, but all these various different design elements are going on around the dial. I don't feel like it's terribly unbalanced to my eyes. Maybe I might think differently later, but that's how I see it right now. And overall, yeah, this is not again a watch to be taken seriously. If you see my collection, or at least of what I've been posting, I definitely have much more cooler and serious watches. This is purely for fun for under $40. I figure this, at least it's metal and it has a theme that means a little bit more to me than say a Speedmaster. And I would take this. I mean, I think this is fine over if you're going to go with something fun and somewhat relatively inexpensive. I think this is actually somewhat better made than a Moonswatch. At least it's metal and not kind of a plastic. And yeah, at least my version, it seems like the movement is hitting all the marks, whereas I think some of the Swatch ones, the Moonswatches, they don't quite do that, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, this is not my favorite style of NATO style straps that pass through, but yeah, and I guess there's a lot I would consider this a Zulu strap with these type of rings, hardware that's holding it down. They usually don't work for me, but for some reason it actually kind of does this time. Something like it was a second strap on my Zen 155S. And I tried that, and I knew I wasn't gonna like it just because I don't usually like this type of hardware, but it really didn't fit and work well. Like the extra bits, especially on this, that you would try to tie up, just didn't seem like it was folding right and really stuck out and was in an odd position. Just didn't seem right. But this, fine. And so yeah, I mean, this is how it looks like on my wrist. It's I did the measurements. It is a 42 millimeter. My wrist is about 7 inches, and yeah. Hopefully the video quality isn't suffering so much. It says my phone is overheating. Anyways, because I'm doing a couple of things right now with it. But yeah, and it's about under 11 millimeters thick, if I measured correctly. It's like 10 point something. Just check out my unboxing videos. These are 22 millimeter lug width, so plenty of strap options. And I can imagine several things working with this: a white, a gray, obviously, a black, and almost anything in between. So yeah, but I don't know. This is just something to just whimsically bought and to have fun, and when I feel like this, being reminded of something from my past and present. Actually, I'm still very much an avid fan of the series, and I'm still looking at a few like collectibles from the series to add to my collection on the side here of like memorabilia and toys and stuff like that I do have. And that's about it. So I don't know. Say what you will. Yeah, it's completely, just a casual, fun watch to have. It's mostly for a kind of look. It just looks kind of cool. Although functionally, there's a lot of things about it that just actually don't really work. But I'm not really bothered by that because I have plenty of other watches where all the things do really work and work very well too. But this is just, again, just for looks and for fun, shits and giggles, whatever you want to call it. All right, thanks. It's getting too long, but this is, you know, this is something I wanted to share, a new thing to add. But since it's under $40, it's not really something that's going to be a serious part of my collection. But it'll be there on the side, just for fun, the fun watch. All right, thanks. Later. Enjoy your watches. Bye.